What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men of Order Sports Channel. We talk about sports betting, mostly NFL. We're going to get into NBA when that comes around as well. But I got Big Mike Rader in the house. We're going to talk about this exciting matchup, Thursday night football here. Bears +6 at the Commanders. The over-under set at 44.5. This is 2 years in a row that we've had to deal with these two teams playing each other on Thursday night football.
Yep.
I know I'm being sarcastic when I'm saying this exciting matchup. I think this is going to be a more exciting matchup than it was last year, though, at least. I'm not saying that's going to be much better because all we got to do is beat a 12-7 game. So it's not like that's difficult. We're not asking for a whole lot. I mean, I'll take 16-13 in this game if we can get it. You know what I mean? So
right.
Not much to talk about here. This is going to be a quick episode. Let's get in and out of this. Mike, I know you want to target just a couple things in the player prop realm. Just a couple things we're kind of thinking about. Not fully back in. We're not 100% confident in them. But first, I'm going to get into my official pick. We might as well start there because it's going to be a quick show. So I'm going to tease the fuck out of this and just try to make it an easy bet or, a free bet, whatever you want to call it. Look, we got the Commanders -6. I'm kind of confident in them winning this game by like at least 3 points. But I'm going to tease it down even further just to give us a great chance at winning this. If you are on FanDuel, they offer 50% profit boost lately all season long. So they are offering one for this game. So it gives us an opportunity to take some odds that would not be in our favor. A bet where we would have to lay a lot of juice and we can 50% profit boost it back up for us. So I'm going to take advantage of that in this game. It's an ugly game where a lot of the player props, some look good, some look juicy, but we have no idea how this game's going to go in terms of who's going to actually be getting the rock. But I am pretty confident that this game should stay under 50 points. So we're going to take under 50.5. We're teasing that up 6 points there. And we're also going to flip the Commanders into the underdogs and take them +7.5. All they got to do for us is not lose by a touchdown and not put up 40 points on their own, and we should be good in this game. You know what I mean? So I'm parlaying that under 50.5 total points and the Commanders +7.5. Tease it all the way down. We're taking the alternate spread and alternate total points. That comes out to -188. So you would have to lay a lot of juice. But like I said, we got that 50% profit boost. So that brings you up to -126. So it's not too bad. I'm going to put 2.5 units on that to win a profit of 2. That's the only bet that I'm taking today. Well, I will do a same game parlay, but you got to go to the Twitter account to find that later on today at MOO_sports. So give us a follow there. Turn the tweet notifications on so that you don't miss that. The link is in the description box as well if you want to find it pretty easily. But yeah, so that's what I like here. Mike, how do you feel about that play? I feel like, you told me earlier you think it's a pretty lucrative idea. So
it's a lucrative idea, and it's supported by this, right? When you do hike it up to that 50 that you're talking about, statistically, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I mean, you're looking at two teams playing who struggle on offense to go over 50 points. Like statistically, in most cases, most games don't even go over 50 combined, right? So I do like that. And then on top of that, I told you this pretty interesting stat earlier, that teams that go in play in overtime on Sunday, the Sunday game before they play the Thursday night game, that Thursday night game, they are 3-21 historically against the spread. So if you're looking at Bears +6, take away what you got going on, right? If you're looking at Bears +6, that seems like a sure shot right there, right?
With the 3-21 record, I mean,
with the 3-21 record, I like our chances with that one. And then you juice it up a little bit, like what you're doing. You tease it, you put it in a situation where it's going to be advantageous for you to hit, and you got yourself a winner. I'm telling you right there. So I do like that play big time, man.
The only room for pause, because you mentioned the, most games don't go over 50 anyway, and you didn't even mention it, but you always bring this up on Thursdays, the sloppy offense, less time to prepare, things like that.
That's true.
We've talked about that on Thursday Night Football for 2 years straight now. So that's a factor as well that, plays in our favor. The only thing that gives me any bit of pause in this bet is the fact that these defenses are just horrible. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't see both of these teams being able to put up 25 each or more. So I think we're looking at maybe a 20-17 type of game, 20-13, something in that range. So hopefully the Commanders just don't lose by 7. I think it would be pretty tough to do for them. And now, even though that trend that you just mentioned with the overtime game going into Thursday night works against the Commanders' favor, teasing them that far, I don't think it should be an issue. I just don't think the Bears have the offensive firepower or, togetherness to really figure that out and really beat this Washington team by more than 7. I know they look like they figured it out last week, the Bears offense finally. Justin Fields looked really good, but we're talking about a historically bad Denver Broncos defense. So, we got to see what happens tonight, but I don't think they go over 50. That's just the only part I'm a little bit concerned of.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where you're concerned, but I don't see this. This is, I wouldn't say this is quite a pillow fight. This is not on the pillow fight realm, but it kind of is. It's more like, you get like those heavy Tempur-Pedic pillows. It's that type of pillow fight. It's a pillow fight nonetheless, but it's a little bit more juiced up, right? The teams are a little bit better than, well, at least the Commanders. They're a little bit better than, pillow fight range, but the Bears, they're at the bottom of the league. But these two offenses have been struggling all season, so you kind of have to, lean like, okay, this is going to be an under 50 for this game.
Yeah, and everybody that's listening, I mean, if you're confident in the Commanders or think I'm bugging, I'm teasing it a little too far, I fully encourage you to only take the Commanders down to like -2.5 or only take them down to like +3.5, if anything, or something like that. I'm playing it super safe because we had a bad week last week, so I'm trying to rack it back up a little bit and then play some heavy hitters on Sunday. So we're on the get back trail for just this week alone right now. So in an ugly game like this, I'm just going to play it super safe, try to come up with some cash at the end of the night. But yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't recommend against betting it higher. If you want to get even better odds, you can probably, with that 50% profit boost, you can probably get something up to over the plus odds with just taking them to like +5.5, +4.5, +3.5, or even like the under 47 or something if you're real confident in that. So, I fully encourage teasing it even less. I'm going to take the lesser odds for the better chance of winning this bet for tonight.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I like it. We were not really leaning too heavy on any player props, but the ones that I do want to highlight, right, is Justin Fields anytime score is it's a +140. Him kind of running the ball in. It seems to be those mobile quarterbacks are really doing that. We hit with Lamar Jackson last week. I could see Justin Fields doing the same thing. On the flip side, you got what's his name? Let me find it. You got Chase Young on defense, over 0.25 sacks is a -110. If you wanted to parlay that with something else, or even just go off of that, just maybe a unit or a couple units on that, I do like that going against a Bears team who's given up a lot of sacks so far. And
they're the third worst giving up sacks, 4 sacks per game right now. The Commanders are pretty good on defense as well. They're 10th in the league right now, getting about 3 sacks a game. So, you could definitely see it with a dominant player like Chase Young.
Yep, I do like that one. And then the other one, we were talking briefly about Curtis Samuel, big red zone target. Anytime touchdown score is a +290 if you want to get in on that one. That's something to be looking at.
That was Jahan Dotson we were talking about.
Oh, shoot, my bad. Jahan Dotson. That's right. Jahan Dotson is a +210. So either way, right? +210. Hopefully that's not a Freudian slip with the Curtis Samuel. And, you know what I mean? Yep. But if you believe in anything like that,
now we got to lock both in.
There you go. So, Jahan Dotson +210 in the red zone, anytime touchdown score. That seems pretty good for me as well.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I'm not going to play any like official player props, but I'm going to put a couple leans in that I kind of like that I'm just, they might make it into the same game parlay later or something like that. But I do like Sam Howell to go over his passing yards number probably. We're talking at 240.5, 239.5 on FanDuel, -114. It's not juiced up too much or anything. But yeah, he's gone like 290 and like 280 against some of the league's worst passing defenses, and the Bears fit that mold. So, and they might be able to slow down the run game just a little bit, possibly. So, they might be passing the ball. And, in line with that, Terry McLaurin over 4.5 catches. He's been the favorite target on the Commanders right now. He's got 26 targets through 4 games and 21 catches. So he's hitting about 5 a game. He's right on pace with this. So if that works out in the passing game, that might be something worth maybe even parlaying or something like that. But I'm just throwing out some leans here. The other thing I kind of like is I kind of want to look at Brian Robinson for like under 15.5 rush attempts. They've been working him pretty hard. He had a lot of carries last week in that overtime game. You're on a short week going into Thursday. Probably want to save your top guy a little bit if you can. And, the Bears are a pretty weak passing defense. So you could kind of take advantage of that and give Brian Robinson a little less of a workload. But I'm not confident enough in their game plan to really do that. So, so I'm gonna chill off on those. But those are a couple leans that I also wanted to look at. Even probably a good bet is probably Justin Fields for his rushing yards. You're looking at 47.5 right now. That could probably easily hit as well. I could definitely see him taking off and doing it. He looked like he was playing Justin Fields football last week, and he looked really good in the air. But like I said, that's a historically bad Broncos defense. The Commanders, they're not too far behind this year. They're not great either. But they are 26th in yards per carry allowed right now, 21st in total rush yards allowed right now. And the Washington defense does fare a little bit better in the passing game. So they're like about middle of the pack in the passing game. So I think that could be somewhere that the Bears attack. And if Justin Fields is playing lights out, or not lights out, but Justin Fields playing Justin Fields football, he could probably hit that pretty easily, maybe even by halftime.
Yeah.
But again, don't trust him enough. So I'm leaning all
that. Long story short, right?
Yep, exactly. Mike, you got anything for the first touchdown, or are we just going to bet no touchdown scored or something like that for like 80-1 or whatever?
I saw no touchdown score. It's a plus 11,000 if you wanted to get in on that
there
one.
You go.
But I wouldn't touch that at all. But Justin Fields first touchdown on for the Bears side, and then Brian Robinson on the Commander side. I'm not super confident, but that's kind of where I'm at with that one right now.
Gotcha. Just for the fun of it, since this isn't a game that we're like, making official first touchdown bets, I'm going to fade you just for the fun of it. See if one of us gets it right. I'm going to go Cole Kmet on the Bears side. He's one of Justin Fields' favorite red zone targets. But obviously he could also just run it in and you might be right too. But I think he's a pretty good value. I think he's like 20-1 or something like that. The last I looked. And then the other guy I was thinking, Jahan Dotson, like we just mentioned on the Commander side. So if they get down there first, maybe they hit him again in the red zone. He's only had one touchdown so far this season. So I'm not trying to say that, he's likely to score a touchdown, but he is getting a lot of red zone targets. And he pulled in that game-tying touchdown last week. So, there's some trust there with Sam Howell in the red zone. So it's a possibility that he gets one in again and starts, going in that trend for the rest of the season.
Yep. John Dotson, 11-1 right there, 11-1 odds for first touchdown.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about wraps it up. We actually went longer than we thought we were, but we're always good for that because we can have some good football discussion no matter who's playing the games.
Right.
But yeah, best of luck betting. That's my only official pick of the night. That Commanders plus 7.5 teased all the way backwards, and then the under 50.5. Use that same game or use that FanDuel profit boost to increase the odds there. You're getting minus 126 right about now as we're recording the show. And check back on the Men of Order Sports Twitter, MOO_sports later on for the same game parlay. It's risk-free on FanDuel. So we're taking advantage of these deals, but we're not putting too much else out there for a game like this here. Go Commanders and go defense. Best of luck betting, everybody. We're going to be back. Me and Mike are going to tackle a few more of these games in this Week 5 slate. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in the rest of the weekend. And let's get back on track. Let's get back to winning some bank every single game. Let's do it. Adios, everybody. See you guys next time. Peace.